So I'm standing here in front of the official ballot box for the city of Orem, and this ballot box has an interesting story behind it that I would like to tell you. So back in 2015, 5 cities within Utah County wanted to vote by mail and be able to send their votes in through a ballot box. We asked the county clerk to get that done, and the county clerk refused. For political reasons, he did not want vote by mail. So the cities decided that they would, as a matter of recourse, carry out a lawsuit against the county clerk to get this done. As they were preparing that, I thought to myself, there must be a better way than suing the county clerk to try to get this passed. So I decided I would call up the Lieutenant Governor of Utah, and one of his major responsibilities is over elections within the state. So I called him up and asked if he would come down and mediate between the county clerk and the cities that were going to sue him. His response to me through his chief of staff was, "That is a local issue. I am not involved. I will not come down, and I will not be part of it." So I said, okay. So I waited a month as the lawsuits were being prepared, and I thought, you know, really it is part of the duty of the Lieutenant Governor to mediate in a situation like this. He is over elections. So I called up his staff again. They spoke with him, and again the response back was, "Mayor, that is a local issue for the city of Orem. We are not coming down. We will not have anything to do with that." So I thought about that, and I thought, well, there must be some way to work on this. So I called up the county clerk and I said, "Would you meet with us in our conference room here in Orem, and I'll bring in the mayors from the other cities, and let's sit down and talk about it." The county clerk said, "No, I refuse. I will not come to your conference room. But if you want to come to my conference room at the county courthouse, I'll be happy to meet with you." And I said, "Fine, I don't care where we meet. We'll come to your conference room." So we set up a meeting, and at that particular time I thought, I'm going to give it one more try with the Lieutenant Governor to see if he wouldn't come down and mediate. So I called up his chief of staff and I said, "I'd really like to have the Lieutenant Governor come down. And by the way, I'm not taking no for an answer. The Lieutenant Governor is coming down. This is the date we're going to have the meeting, and he will be there." And I hung up, hoping that in fact he would come. We got word later, a couple days later, that in fact he had changed his mind and he was coming to the meeting. But at the same time I thought, I wonder if we're really going to get this done. My wife works at a local elementary school, and she mentioned that in fact the county clerk had come to their school requesting to use their school as a ballot box location. I thought about that, and I thought, well, if the school district didn't want to allow them to do that, then he would actually have no place to have ballots placed because the cities wouldn't let him in. So I called up the superintendent of the Alpine School District and asked him if he would participate with us and help us, because this would affect bond votes for him as well. He agreed. So he called up the county clerk, asked for a meeting, and in the meeting explained to the county clerk that he was not open to the idea of them coming and using his schools for places to put ballot boxes. Now legally he couldn't enforce that, but he just mentioned the fact that he was not in favor of it. So over the weekend before our meeting, the county clerk realized that he couldn't use the schools, he couldn't use the cities, he had no place to go. So when we had our meeting Monday morning, and we had the Lieutenant Governor there, we had the mayors of all the cities there, we had the county clerk there, the county clerk came in and said, "You know what? I've thought about it over the weekend. I think vote by mail is fine. We will change it in the county. You guys can all do vote by mail." Said thank you and walked out the door. One of the ways we got it done was to go through and get other people to help us, and it was accomplished without a lawsuit.